Welcome back to the Sean Wood Show, and we're joined in studio now by Morehead State head women's basketball coach Tom Hodges. And Coach, thanks for being here.
Thanks, David.
Appreciate you joining us. Talk about your basketball team. I know the overall record, not where you want it to be right now, but the old saying is, what have you done for me lately? Lately, it's been good, having won 3 of 4, and I know you're very proud of that.
Right. Certainly got in to an inauspicious start against a really tough non-conference schedule that'll be ranked at the top of the OVC or among the top non-conference contests. So faced some adversity, but been able to put a little 3-game win streak together going into Christmas. We have the best RPI win in the OVC against UAB. That's the best statistical win in the OVC to date. So we're playing with a lot more confidence right now, David, and certainly it's the right time of year to take on that demeanor.
Early in the season, it's a growing process, it's a learning process for your basketball team, but your ladies seem to be getting it right now. And the confidence is there, and it's showing in the play on the floor. Absolutely,
and you said it all when you said confidence. It's a matter of taking the floor with a knowledge and a confidence that you have the ability to pull this thing off. And the schedule was so tough, and that's partly my fault, that waned a little bit. So to get that back and to see them play with that certain type of swagger, if you will, it's nice to see, and it certainly makes practices that much easier, and everybody's quality of life goes up.
Your players seem to be believing in themselves, and with confidence comes believing that you can win basketball games. I know you had a tough game, obviously, in Lexington against Matthew Mitchell and Kentucky. That's brutal in anybody's schedule. But how much did that help you going into OVC play?
Well, it helps us a great deal because it's something you can fall back on.
Sure.
When you go and play the Kentuckys, when you play Cincinnati at Cincinnati, Xavier at Xavier, those are the programs that we aspire to be, and that we fully are committed to be here at Morehead State. So it's something to fall back on. We won't face anybody in the OVC schedule that has tested us like some of our non-conference opponents. And if that is truly the case and we've learned our lessons, then the non-conference season did exactly what we wanted in preparation for OVC play.
Do you tell your players that in the locker room, say after a Kentucky game, after a double-digit loss like that? Do you look at your players and say, hey, girls, it's okay because we're not going to play anybody nearly this good in our own conference?
Sure, but you have to temper it.
Okay.
You know, you don't want that to be an excuse.
Right.
But it's certainly something we can come in on the back end and say, look, you're not going to play anybody who's ranked in the top 5 in America, like Kentucky and Matthew Mitchell, in the OVC.
Right.
And we had some successes doing a few things and doing the right things right. You go and play at Cincinnati, who competes in the Big East, and it's a 2-point ball game with 5 minutes to play. So it's those types of things that you look to build upon, and as we meander through that non-conference schedule in preparation for the best time of the year, which is conference play.
Absolutely. Talk about your team going into conference. What do you like? What do you not like?
Well, certainly I love the resolve that we're playing with. We have back-to-back Players of the Week in the OVC.
That's awesome.
That hasn't happened since we've had our tenure here. Here's an unbelievable thing. This was our first Player of the Week OVC honor ever. Even as great as China Bozeman was,
really,
she never got Player of the Week. Even when she was a Player of the Year, she never received Player of the Week. So for us to get back-to-back Players of the Week and Therese Robinson and Almisha Jones is a great testament to their work ethic and the hard work that they're putting in. So they're playing at a high level. Mackenzie Arledge is playing at a high level. Casey Rhines is playing maybe her best basketball. Allie Turner shooting the basketball really well. I'm just really excited to see the maturation of this team, David. And they've been able to take the lumps, you know, like a good old Timex watch. We've kind of taken a licking and we kept on ticking.
Tom, thanks for coming in.
Hey, David, thank you so much. Thank you Coach Sean Woods for
Yes.
having us on.
We'll
We
do it
certainly
again.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Stay with us. We'll be right back to close things out with Coach Woods in just a moment. Welcome back into the Sean Woods Show. Conference has started. Now we are taping this show prior to Morehead's game against Eastern Illinois on Saturday. We'll have that on next week's show. But big road stretch coming up. 4 games on the road. You go to Austin Peay. You go to EKU. That's not easy. Colonel's playing very well right now. Talk about that matchup.
Well, we got a chance to see the Colonels play last night. I watched tape last night of their game against Eastern Illinois, and they're a tough out. Their guard play is tremendous right now, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. They've had some significant wins in pre-conference, so it's going to be a tough out, especially at their place.
At McBrayer Arena, Morehead State has had a lot of success down there in recent years. It's important to continue that, and also I know you want to encourage fans to make the short road trip to Richmond because usually we have a good turnout down there.
No doubt about it, and plus my friends and family and associates that live in Lexington, which is much closer to Richmond, I'm looking forward to seeing them at our game too there.
What's the EKU game mean to you?
Well,
I mean, you know about the rivalry.
Well, it's a rivalry game, so every rivalry game takes it up a little notch, you know, but we got to prepare and we got to look at it the same way that we look at everything else. And if we take care of our business and we stick to the script, David, I think we'll have some success.
Talk about the 4-game road swing coming up, because I know ideally when you go on the road you at least want to split, but I know you want more than that. Talk about what your team is capable of this time of year.
Well, we're capable of being pretty good, but we got to continue to get better. We did some good things last night that we watched on tape, and we did some things that we can get better at, and we got to finish games for 40 minutes. If we do the right thing for 40 minutes, we can be highly successful. We have enough. Our team is starting to come back. Khalil wants to be back in the next 2 games or so. Tariq Muhammad is feeling himself, and it's going to take him a couple more games. But our family's coming back. It's like everybody is coming back home for this long stretch. And the morale is good.
Sure.
We got to keep it up because it was a strain for the first 3 months of the season, but it has to be. You got to go through trials and tribulations and find yourselves through adverse situations to become who you are, and if you ever have a chance of having some success. So we've gone through that. Now we got to take advantage of that and put it all together for the most important run, which is the OVC Conference and this road stretch.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for watching today here on the CWKYT Network, and on behalf of Morehead State basketball coach Tom Hodges and director Tim Creekmore, I'm David Patrick, and we will see you next week right here on the Sean Woods Show.
The Sean Woods Show has been brought to you by Chickabiddy Frozen Yogurt, Coach Woods' favorite frozen treat. The Citizens Bank, Morehead's only locally owned bank. Larry Fannin Chevrolet Buick GMC, serving the area for more than 60 years. Standafer Builders, Paving and Sealing of West Liberty. Quality work at affordable prices. That's how we roll. The Kentucky Pain Institute, specialist in spine and joint relief. US Bank, a financial partner of Morehead State University. Eagle Finance, making loans to people, not credit scores. And by the Commercial Bank of West Liberty, committed to the rebuilding of our community.